The third thing that you need to ask your employer is, what do the staffing levels and workload management look like? And what does your staff turnover rate look like? So, what is your typical nurse to patient ratio? Are there ever times in which a nurse has to take more than that ratio? How does this hospital ensure that staffing levels are safe given the patient acuity? And honestly, how many employees have left your department in the last year? And what's the reasons that they've given for leaving? Now, here's a fun story. So, I was very, very pregnant with my second child, my daughter, and the department that I was working in was actually being shut down. And the human resources woman told me that she wanted to retain me within the hospital and asked me, where would you like to work? And I stupidly said, oh, I always thought ER would be fun. Now, mind you, I had no critical care experience. I always just thought, wow, like it looks exciting. Like ER nurses have a reputation for being kind of badass. Like that's appealing to me. I think I'd like to give ER a try. So the day they told me that the department was shutting down was also the same day I had an interview in the ER. And basically, the department director offered me any shift I wanted. She was like, do you want day shift? Do you want night shift? Do you want mid shift? What works best for you? And I was like, oh, well, of course I want day shift. And she was like, done, you're hired. And I didn't even think that that was a red flag. But what had happened is they had had a massive turnover of seasoned staff because of some toxic dynamics that were happening in the department. And they lost a lot of really good staff members, which meant that they were desperate for anybody with an RN and a pulse. And I just happened to be at the right place at the right time to slip into a day shift position in a critical care environment in which I did not have the experience for. And I didn't know to ask the questions. What's the orientation process look like? What are the performance expectations? What is going to be expected of me? And how are you going to support me in getting the skills that I need up to par in an environment in which I am not trained to be in? And let me tell you, friend, I cried almost every single shift for almost an entire year. And why I ended up staying, I don't even know. I can tell you on the other side of this, I'm glad I did because I found strength inside of me that I didn't even know existed. But it was also the hardest year of my entire career. It was so difficult. And I wished that somebody had shared these questions with me. I wish I had known to ask these questions at that moment in my career because I probably could have saved myself a little bit of heartache.